They laughed at a drunken vagrant on Main Street in Riverside. They said he was just another problem on the sidewalk, just another bad smell passing by. But there, at the end of the afternoon, the whole town learned how to listen. A boy was trying to start his electric bike. The motor coughed, faltered, died. He was late, you could tell by the way he looked at the watch on his wrist. Then a man stepped out from the darkest corner of the street. Worn coat, unshaven beard, tired eyes, and an old wrench in his hand. His name was Roger Silva. He spoke softly, carefully, in plain English, that in 2 minutes he could fix it. No one believed him. The town's influencer raised his phone, went live, and the wheel of comments began to spin the way it always spins when someone becomes a joke. Roger pressed his ear to the sound of the bike. Not the smell, not the look, he listened. Steady fingers, the motion of someone who had done this 1,000 times. He tightened one connector, cleaned another with the hem of his shirt, turned the pedal. The motor woke smooth, without drama. The boy smiled like he had just won the day. Roger only murmured something no one quite understood, something like, "Do not judge the smell, listen with your heart." Then came the giggles. Even a broken clock is right twice, a miracle with the scent of alcohol, things like that. Because it is easy to laugh when it is not your shame in the middle of the street. On the other side of the corner cup window, a young woman watched. Anna Brooks. Gray sweatshirt, worn backpack, a bracelet on her wrist with 4 letters, WWJD. What would Jesus do? She did not look at Roger's clothes. She looked at his hands. Grease-stained hands, full of calluses and small scars. Hands that told a story the town did not have the patience to hear. The cafe manager came out and told Roger to leave. Customers are complaining. He tossed a pack of tissues like someone doing charity. Some people clapped. And right then, the door of Grant's auto shop opened. Ethan Grant, the shop owner, crossed the street. Polo shirt with a logo, the confident stride of someone in charge. He asked if Roger had touched the boy's bike, asked who would pay if something went wrong. He took the wrench from him as if tools had an owner and a place, and that place could never be the hand of a dirty man on the sidewalk. Roger lowered his eyes. Sunlight hit the grease and the grease shone. It is strange to say, but it shone. Polished by use. That was when Anna left the cafe. She walked to the center of the circle, the live stream roaring, comments piling up at full speed. She asked his name. He said, "Roger." She answered simply, "I believe in you." Someone cracked a joke. Someone else said to scrub him first. Anna did not argue. She knelt, picked the wrench up off the asphalt, blew the dust away, and placed it back in Roger's hand. Skin to skin. Grease on her fingertips. A small gesture, but those who understood, understood. She looked at the shop owner and proposed a real chance. Not a street show. A test. On his turf. Let him fix something that matters. In your shop. Live. With the town watching, people on the sidewalk buzzed at the idea the way a crowd buzzes when it wants a soap opera ending. Ethan smirked and tried to turn it into a bet. Tomorrow, at noon, Grant's auto shop. If Roger failed, Anna would clean the shop windows for a week. Live. If he succeeded, Ethan would apologize and give him a chance. Anna agreed. An outstretched hand, a cold shake. The live recorded it. The town saw. They laughed at a drunken vagrant on Main Street in Riverside. They said he was just another problem on the sidewalk, just another bad smell passing by. But there, at the end of the afternoon, the whole town learned how to listen. A boy was trying to start his electric bike. The motor coughed, faltered, died. He was late, you could tell by the way he looked at the watch on his wrist. Then a man stepped out from the darkest corner of the street. Worn coat, unshaven beard, tired eyes, and an old wrench in his hand. His name was Roger Silva. He spoke softly, carefully, in plain English, that in 2 minutes he could fix it. No one believed him. The town's influencer raised his phone, went live, and the wheel of comments began to spin the way it always spins when someone becomes a joke. Roger pressed his ear to the sound of the bike. Not the smell, not the look, he listened. Steady fingers, the motion of someone who had done this 1,000 times. He tightened one connector, cleaned another with the hem of his shirt, turned the pedal. The motor woke smooth, without drama. The boy smiled like he had just won the day. Roger only murmured something no one quite understood, something like, "Do not judge the smell, listen with your heart." Then came the giggles. Even a broken clock is right twice, a miracle with the scent of alcohol, things like that. Because it is easy to laugh when it is not your shame in the middle of the street. On the other side of the corner cup window, a young woman watched. Anna Brooks. Gray sweatshirt, worn backpack, a bracelet on her wrist with 4 letters, WWJD. What would Jesus do? She did not look at Roger's clothes. She looked at his hands. Grease-stained hands, full of calluses and small scars. Hands that told a story the town did not have the patience to hear. The cafe manager came out and told Roger to leave. Customers are complaining. He tossed a pack of tissues like someone doing charity. Some people clapped. And right then, the door of Grant's auto shop opened. Ethan Grant, the shop owner, crossed the street. Polo shirt with a logo, the confident stride of someone in charge. He asked if Roger had touched the boy's bike, asked who would pay if something went wrong. He took the wrench from him as if tools had an owner and a place, and that place could never be the hand of a dirty man on the sidewalk. Roger lowered his eyes. Sunlight hit the grease and the grease shone. It is strange to say, but it shone. Polished by use. That was when Anna left the cafe. She walked to the center of the circle, the live stream roaring, comments piling up at full speed. She asked his name. He said, "Roger." She answered simply, "I believe in you." Someone cracked a joke. Someone else said to scrub him first. Anna did not argue. She knelt, picked the wrench up off the asphalt, blew the dust away, and placed it back in Roger's hand. Skin to skin. Grease on her fingertips. A small gesture, but those who understood, understood. She looked at the shop owner and proposed a real chance. Not a street show. A test. On his turf. Let him fix something that matters. In your shop. Live. With the town watching, people on the sidewalk buzzed at the idea the way a crowd buzzes when it wants a soap opera ending. Ethan smirked and tried to turn it into a bet. Tomorrow, at noon, Grant's auto shop. If Roger failed, Anna would clean the shop windows for a week. Live. If he succeeded, Ethan would apologize and give him a chance. Anna agreed. An outstretched hand, a cold shake. The live recorded it. The town saw. Night fell cold over Riverside. Roger lingered on the curb, one hand in his pocket holding the wrench like someone holding courage. The live stream kept running on many phones. It was luck. I cried. Make him wash. Give him a job. It is a scam, the internet shouts. The heart chooses what to hear. Anna crossed slowly and asked if he had a place to sleep. He said that sometimes near the river, sometimes at the shelter, sometimes nowhere. She pointed towards St. Matthew's, 2 blocks away, lights on, choir rehearsal. The corner bar called with laughter and cheap bottles. Roger looked. Then he looked at her bracelet, WWJD. He said nothing. He stood. They went in. The choir sang simple and beautiful. Pastor Lewis nodded a greeting, no questions. The mother of the boy in the wheelchair appeared, thanked him with her hands, and left. Roger sat in a pew and breathed like someone finally at rest. Anna lit a candle. They kept still. Anna's old guilt rose whole. Her father, a good man who lost his hand to drink. She remembered the Christmas he staggered in with a radio for them to fix together. The gift fell. He cried on the floor, asking forgiveness. It was the last time he tried to repair anything. Since then, when Anna sees someone fallen, it hurts. The pastor offered water in the back room shower. It is simple, but clean. Roger watched the water fall like a waterfall. He washed slowly. He put on a donated shirt. His hands still carried ancient grease. Working hands. Anna messaged her journalist friend, Nina. I saw the live. I am coming, Nina replied. She arrived with a small camera and a lot of respect. She sat on the floor, asked permission to record only his voice. I want to tell it the right way. Not to destroy. To teach people how to see, Anna agreed. Roger stayed quiet, then said, I had a shop in Sao Paulo. The story came out in pieces. The neighborhood, the blue sign, late rent, an angry client, a bad rumor, the door shuttered. The bottle became a habit. He lost the shop, the family, the address. He woke on a bench one day, swollen hands, ears still tuned to motors. I am a motor that has stalled many times, he said. But sometimes it catches. Nina thanked him. She said she had seen both support and cruelty in the comments. She proposed, at tomorrow's test, no humiliating those who laughed. No yelling, no lynching. We focus on Roger's hands and the sound of the motor. Those who need to learn will learn by watching. Anna liked it. No revenge. Only work. They toasted with water. Anna asked gently that he not drink that night. Tomorrow is your second chance, he said. I will try. She corrected him. You will make it. He kept that inside. Outside, the town's group stayed noisy. Anna copied some lines, the worst ones and the most beautiful, and saved them. Not to throw in anyone's face. So that, at the right time, the town could hear itself. It was late. Anna messaged Ethan to confirm the time. He replied, noon, and a clock emoji. The reflections from the shop windows trembled in the church glass. Sometimes it is just the wind. Sometimes it is the future. The pastor offered the couch. Sleep here, Roger thanked him with a look. Anna left a folded jacket and a note clipped to it. Tomorrow we turn the key. WWJD. She left slowly. The town felt a little less cold. Roger lay down. His mind pulled bad memories, broken promises, dead motors, closed doors. He closed his eyes and searched for another sound, the steady purr of a motor in tune. He fell asleep hearing that sound inside. At home, Anna took her father's photo from a box. He was holding a screwdriver from a time before the drink one. She rested her forehead against the frame. Today I helped someone, Dad. It was not a miracle. It was a choice. Choice becomes a road. In the morning, Anna returned to the church. Roger was on his feet, hair combed by hand, clean shirt, wrench in his pocket. The pastor brought bread and coffee. Nina arrived with the camera and tired eyes. The scent of laundry soap. A good start. Before they left, Anna asked, "Ready?" Roger said yes. Not with puffed chest. With both feet on the ground. Nina tested the audio and put it away. Today we speak low and show loud. The pastor touched their shoulders. Common clarity. They walked toward Grant's. The town woke. The bar opened its door. The same smell. Roger took the opposite sidewalk. He was not a hero. He was steady. Anna noticed, made no speech. She walked with him. On the corner, the shop was half open. Curious employees, people peeking in, a slow patrol car. On Nina's phone, comments arriving before anything had begun. Half against, half in favor. That is how it is. Anna breathed. Today we show the right sound. The rest the town will learn. Roger touched the wrench in his pocket like some people touch a rosary. His hand was steady enough. Fear lived in him, but it did not command him. And they crossed Main Street. No fanfare. Just 3 people and one decision: do not judge. The shop waited like a stage in a courtroom. The clock would strike noon. When the key turns, it either catches or it does not. And everyone listens. Riverside, which laughed yesterday, would listen for real today. Because respect changes the sound of things. When judgment becomes help, the town changes key. Today the motor would have a voice. Today the hands would speak for it. Morning. Ethan's shop opened with a squeal of hinges and the smell of hot rubber. Riverside woke curious. People stalled on the sidewalk, pretended they were there to buy oil filters, but they wanted to see whether the mechanic vagrant was real or just internet smoke. Anna, Roger, and Nina arrived together, simple, without speeches. Roger touched the wrench in his pocket as if checking whether his heart was still in place. It was. Inside, the employees whispered. One pointed to the clock, another to his phone, all plugged into the town's noisy group. The live stream already had people waiting, comments rolling before anything happened. Today he falls. Today we shut them up. It is always 50% against, 50% in favor, and the rest watching. Ethan appeared, wiping his hands on a rag. He spoke with the sure voice of a boss, but his eyes did not hide the strain. He chose the challenge like a card from a deck, a big, old motor they all called the Bogeyman. They pushed a steel cart with effort. A heavy V8, dust baked on for years, nicknamed Frankenstein. If this motor sang, the street would sing with it. If it did not, the town would bite. Nina placed the camera up high, framing hands, tools, parts, avoiding faces of those who did not want to appear. "The story is the work," she said under her breath, both warning and promise. Anna nodded. She set her phone to silent. Breathed. Gave Roger a small look that meant strength. Roger approached the V8 like someone approaching a wounded animal. Not fear. Respect. He leaned his ear to the metal. Asked for a flashlight. Passed the beam slowly along hoses, cables, screws someone had tightened in a hurry once upon a time. He blew away old dust, checked the chain slack, pinched the wiring harness with his fingertips. His body remembered the path his mind had forgotten. And while he listened, the town listened to him. The employees snickered. One asked if he wanted perfume with his electrical tape. Another coined a nickname, Saint of Alcohol. Anna pretended not to hear. Nina pretended not to hear. But the camera recorded the sound. Not to humiliate anyone, but to save the music of prejudice, which is always repeated in off-key. Outside, the sidewalk filled. Children climbed the curb. The church lady arrived with a bag of bread. Pastor Lewis stood across the street, discreet. Maya, Ethan's sister, remained in the doorway, arms crossed, torn expression. She knew her brother better than anyone. She knew when he hardened and when he softened. Today he was in between. The live began. Nina gave a short introduction. Today we will listen to a motor. And maybe, by listening well, we will learn to listen to people. That was all. No wagging finger. Comments burst like popcorn. Clapping emojis, vomiting ones, crying ones. A flood of opinions before the first screw turned. Roger asked for a spark plug. Ethan handed him a used one, just to test his patience. Roger gave a half smile, handed back the used plug, and pointed to the right drawer. Ethan hesitated, then fetched a new one. Small movements shifted the game. With the right part in hand, Roger checked the gap by ear, not by eye. He lightly tapped the electrode with a fingernail, like tuning a piano. The gesture was beautiful. Ugly hands, beautiful gesture. The town saw, even while pretending not to. Nina captured details. Grease at the cuticle, light spilling over metal, the slight tremor that vanished when Roger held the tool at the exact angle. Anna spoke just above a whisper, "Remember the bike sound?" Same principle, he answered without voice, remembered. Meanwhile, the Riverside buzz group boiled. Screenshots began to fly. People saying he would steal, people claiming Ethan was a genius for giving a stage, people calling for the police. Anna saved a few lines on her phone. Not to use against anyone now, but so the town could hear itself one day. Saving words is saving a mirror. A client slipped in, holding an old invoice. He saw the camera and backed away. Anna introduced herself, explained that faces would not appear. The client smiled politely, but his hand confessed fear. The fear of becoming a joke moves through the streets like a cold wind. The live does not forgive a stumble. That is why today the plan was simple: show the work. Ethan came closer, not as hard as yesterday. He murmured something no one expected. "If you get this right, the town will remember." Roger answered politely, "If I get it wrong, I try again." The line hit Ethan in a place he did not admit. Because there were loans, payroll, reputation, quotas, and also the shame of yesterday. True things never walk alone. In the noise, a fire department truck pulled up. Someone reported overcrowding, talked about risk, about alive dangerously inside a shop with too many people. The inspector tucked his helmet under his arm and asked for calm. He knew Ethan. He was local, but he had to enforce rules. Either you reduce the crowd or take this outside. The street held its breath. Ethan breathed heavier. Anna thanked him for the warning. Nina lowered the camera. Roger rolled the motor cart back a bit and waited. They decided to move outside. They pushed the V8 to the edge of the sidewalk. The cart bumped against the curb and everyone grabbed hold. The weight was great, but so was the will. For a moment, the street became a shop, and, without a word, people opened space. A boy held the door, a woman lifted her bag of bread to make way. The pastor asked the children to step back. Someone shouted, "Safety," and for the first time the word was not used against Roger, it was used for him. The motor settled into place. Sunlight struck the metal and revealed cracks, old dust, and also a harsh beauty in the parts. Roger ran his hand across it, brushed away excess powder, checked the vacuum line again, asked for a clear hose. An employee brought one that was too thick. Roger showed the right size with 2 fingers. The employee returned with another. This time it fit. They exchanged a look that was not friendship yet, but not pure hostility either. It was the middle ground, where a town learns. The camera caught the church sign in the distance, "All welcome." It also caught the Grants sign reflected in a shop window, trembling in the wind. Maya read comments on her phone. Her expression shifted from tired mockery to something like concern. She saw people tagging the family's bank, saw rumors about frozen funds, saw reputation on the line. She also saw her brother's hand tremble when he thought no one watched. Family recognizes a tremor. Roger asked for silence with his open palm, without ordering. People obeyed, a rare collective agreement. He closed his eyes and listened to the V8 as if pressing his ear to a chest. Anna held her breath. Nina aimed at the hands. The inspector crossed his arms and waited for an ending. Ethan wiped his forehead with the dirty rag and pretended it was the heat. The town hung in suspense as a distant siren cut the air for 3 seconds and vanished. Only a patrol car headed elsewhere, but the sound reminded everyone there was law, rule, limit. The live grew fuller. The comments now demanded 2 things at once, spectacle and miracle. And beneath that, they begged for respect, even without knowing how to ask. Roger asked for the key. Ethan held it a heartbeat longer, as if deciding whether to let go. He let go. Roger did not turn it yet. He first pressed a connector with his nail, adjusted a screw no one had noticed, leaned in one last time. Only then did he give a small turn, heard the motors cough, stopped, breathed, turned again. The sound said, "Almost." Before the next try, someone in the crowd shouted, "If it fails, never again," the old voice of hasty judgment, always ready. Anna turned toward the voice and did not answer. Instead, she said to Roger, very low, "Listen for the right sound." He listened. And then, when everything seemed balanced too perfectly between right and wrong, Ethan's phone buzzed. He read a message from the bank, hard as stone. "We need to talk about your line of credit." The color drained half a shade from his face. Maya saw. The fear now was economic, not only public shame. Real life stepped in like an unpaid bill. Ethan pocketed the phone, pretended normal, but his body told on him. At that instant, the inspector, watching the sky, said it would rain. A heavy cloud grew behind the church. If it rained, it was over. The motor could not take water like this. The town lifted its chin like an animal sensing a shift in the weather. And the wind did change. Roger held the key with resolve. The rain had not fallen yet, but the threat hung heavy. The live climbed to a number no one expected on a Tuesday. The pastor gripped his cap. Children held their breath. Ethan turned pale, between the bank and the sky. Maya stepped forward, as if she could hold the cloud with her hand. And we stop here, with the V8 ready to say yes or no, with the town leaning toward an answer, with the bank blinking in Ethan's pocket and the rain ready to ruin the day. Sometimes life speaks to us this way. It puts every threat in the same minute and asks whether you still want to try. Roger still does. Anna too. In Riverside, which laughed yesterday, cannot laugh today. Today it only waits for the sound. The heavy cloud parked over the street like it wanted to ruin the day on purpose. The inspector said it could rain at any moment. The bank flashed in Ethan's pocket. The live boiled. It was the hour when many people choose to shout, blame, point fingers. But the choice that mattered there had nothing to do with the fight. It had to do with how to tell that story. Anna looked at Nina and Roger and spoke quietly, just for them. Today there is no revenge. Today we do not expose anyone's face. Today the camera will show only hands, the motor, and the sound. Whoever needs to learn will learn by watching, not by being humiliated. Nina nodded. She reset the frame. She turned off the broadcast comments for a few minutes. We will bring them back later, she said. First, silence. Ethan heard. He fidgeted with the car keys in his pocket, nervous. It would be easy for him to give in to anger and order everyone out. Easier still to turn it all into advertising. But the bank's message still burned in his hand, and his sister, Maya, stared at him like someone saying, "Do not throw away what can still be saved." He took a breath. He walked 2 steps to Roger. And, perhaps for the first time, he spoke without irony. "If you get it right, I will apologize in public. If you get it wrong, I will not ridicule you. We will try again." Roger lifted his eyes. A simple agreement that changed the air. Anna opened her backpack. She took out white tape. She wrote with a thick marker and stuck it on the cart's hood above the motor. "Today we listen." She asked the pastor to keep the children a little farther back. She asked the bread lady to share with those most crowded. She asked the shop employees for only one thing: no jokes, no whispers. 30 minutes of respect. The silence that followed was not perfect, but it was enough. Nina went to Maya and asked to film only her hands delivering the new spark plug. Maya agreed. "I do not want to appear," she said. "But I can help." She took the plug from the correct drawer, wiped it with a rag, handed it over carefully. The gesture was simple. It was the kind of gesture that nudges a town 1 inch forward. The choice was set: show work instead of humiliation. And because of that, other small choices began to sprout. The firefighter lent a folding awning in case the rain broke open. An employee, the same one who joked yesterday, brought the clear hose of the right gauge without being asked. The client who had backed away for fear of the camera returned, left his invoice on the counter, and stayed a little longer from a distance, just to watch. The inspector rested his helmet on his hip and said that, the way they were organized, they could continue. But if it drizzles, it is over. Across the sidewalk, a loud-voiced YouTuber arrived with a megaphone. He announced he would expose the Miracle Vagrant fraud. He fired off 2 or 3 catchphrases. The police parked closer. The air soured in a second. Anna walked to him, without a fight. She said, "You can film, of course. Just do not disturb the sound." "The sound is the proof." He laughed, nodded, but did not put the megaphone away. That was how he earned a living. Nina took a deep breath and marked on her phone some lines the town had repeated since last night. "Never judge by appearance. It is never too late to start again. Men cry too." She agreed with Anna. If it worked, they would project those lines later at the church, not to attack anyone, but so the town could hear itself. That was the plan. It was small, but it was clean. Ethan went to the door, looked at his own sign, his own story, and realized this test was not about who owned the street. It was about what the street chose to value. He returned and handed the key to Roger without tugging, without delay, without holding power at the tip of the metal. "Go at your pace," he said. No rush. It was a lie. Everyone was in a rush. But the right line helps the hand not to shake. The cloud deepened. 2 fat drops scratched the air and died on the hot ground, dark stains that faded fast. People lifted their chins. The wind shifted. The smell of rain met the smell of grease, and for a moment the street felt like an old shop. Roger pressed his ear to the V8 again. He asked for silence with an open palm. The YouTuber, incredibly, lowered the megaphone for a few seconds. Anna did not blink. Nina kept the camera chest high, framing only hands and parts. Maya, without meaning to, folded her hands as if in prayer. Ethan gripped the rag too tight. Then another choice appeared. Someone from the noisy group shouted, "If it fails, never again." Anna heard but did not answer. She said only to Roger, at the volume of a secret, "Listen for the right sound," and he listened. His ears slid between the noises. The world got smaller. Roger asked for the hose. He tightened the clamp with the wrench. He checked the new plug, the timing, the torque, the spark. He flicked the electrode lightly with his nail. He whispered in Portuguese, almost a prayer, "Agora vai, now it will go." Those who understood Portuguese understood. Those who did not, felt it all the same. The YouTuber tried the megaphone again. The patrol car gave a short warning with the siren. He put it away. The rain threatened to fall all at once. The inspector opened the awning, ready to cover. The bank pinged in Ethan's pocket again, as if to remind him that life is expensive. Ethan ignored it. There were not 2 worlds anymore. There was only one. Either it would catch, or it would not. And everyone would hear together. And that was when the whole town shared the same wish, that it would work. Not by miracle. By fairness. By the right of someone to get up without a handful of jokes cutting his legs. Those who did not know how to ask for that out loud asked for it inside. Roger's finger reached the key. His face was calm, the calm of someone who has worked a lifetime and knows there are things you control and things you do not. Wind hit the awning. The first big drop landed on the back of his hand and slid to his wrist. He did not pull away. He breathed. And he gave the first half turn, just to feel. The motor coughed, almost came, died. He leaned back a hair, adjusted a connector only he had seen out of place. He pressed his ear closer. Time thinned to a thread. The street held its breath. The live froze a second under the surge of viewers. The pastor closed his eyes. Maya bit her lip. Ethan went green and then recovered. Anna pressed her foot to the ground, firm, like she could help hold the whole street. Roger breathed again. And, between rain about to break and a town about to give up, he chose to try once more. His hand went to the key again, and stopped a second before turning. By choice. Because choosing is this, holding a little longer to hear the right sound. The entire street waited for that second. The next drop fell, and we stop here, with the finger ready, the motor ready, the rain ready, the bank ready, the megaphone ready. Everything balanced on the same wire. The next gesture would decide a great deal. And it was in the right hands. The first turn of the key was only a whisper. The V8 coughed, threatened to come, died. The second was worse, a dry pop, silence, and a laugh rippled along the sidewalk like foul wind. The YouTuber lifted the megaphone to harvest another person's fall. The cloud pressed the sky. 2 fat drops fell and turned into dark spots on the asphalt. The inspector warned, if it truly rained, it was over. A motor like that could not take water. The rule has no heart. Roger stood with the key in his hand, shoulder a bit slumped, like someone receiving news he already knew. "I am sorry," he said softly, more to himself than to the street. The old impulse to walk away arrived whole. The live, cruel as always, already demanded a verdict, failure. Anna stepped close without touching him. "It is not over," she said simply, in the same tone as reading an address. "Listen again." He closed his eyes and pressed his ear to the metal. There was a small sound, almost shy, asking to be noticed. Roger asked for the flashlight, asked for the thin hose, tightened the clamp a millimeter, adjusted a connector no one else saw out of place. The YouTuber made a joke. The police came one step closer. The cloud turned black. Then the rain opened. Not a deluge, but enough for the inspector to raise his hand and call it, "That is all for today." Safety first, the street groaned in chorus. Drops began to speckle the motor cart, the makeshift awning snapped in the wind, and the test was officially cut short. Ethan swallowed hard. In his pocket, the bank vibrated again. He read the message, pale, line of credit temporarily suspended. Report in person, not tomorrow. Now. His shop, his name, salaries, everything balanced on an invisible thread. He tried to look steady and failed. Maya saw. Roger lowered his head. Defeat is an animal that knows the way back. "I always ruin it at the end," he whispered. Anna caught the sentence with her hand, like catching a glass before it falls. "This is not the end," she said. "It is the rain." The bread lady opened her bag and began sharing what can warm from the inside. The pastor, under the church awning, waved them over. "There's cover here." The inspector thought for 2 seconds and cleared a path, under the awning, without switching on anything that could spark until the rain stops. It was the most mercy the law could give. They pushed the V8 to St. Matthew's awning. The cartwheels snagged on the step, 2 people on one side, 2 on the other, and the motor went up. The rain grew stronger and struck the street, washing some of the dust away, blending the smell of grease and earth. The YouTuber tried to follow, but the police kept him 10 paces back. "You film from here." Under the awning, the world got smaller. Hands, rag, flashlight. Nina repositioned the camera, only parts and hands. Maya leaned on the pillar and stared at her nails like someone thinking of another life. Suddenly, she slipped into the church, vanished 2 minutes, and returned with a clear plastic box. "New coil 3, she said softly to Roger, without theater, without announcement. "It was in my car. I brought it on the last order." "Will it work?" He looked at the part like a glass of water in the desert. "It will." Outside, the rain beat hard. The town huddled under umbrellas, still watching. Someone home. Others came, curious. The noisy group kept typing. They took down the stage. They changed the rules. Fraud. Anna, instead of replying, kept storing good and bad phrases in a file. Saving words is holding up mirrors for later. Roger swapped the coil with the calm of someone who has done it 1,000 times. The fit is a simple choreography: hand, pressure, click. Then he checked the plug, the gap, the hose, the clamp, the spark. The pastor appeared with a dry rag. "So your hand does not slip," he said. The bread lady left a piece by Anna's side. "He will need it later." A shop employee, the same mock yesterday, brought the right size clamp without anyone asking. Small things lined up into something beautiful. Ethan was in 2 places at once, there, holding a rag, and at the bank, his credit line on a tight rope. He looked at the church sign, "All welcome." He looked at his own, Grant's Auto Shop. And he understood that this moment would decide more than a motor. It would decide what kind of name he would have in town. The rain eased a little. The inspector nodded. "One short attempt. If it fails, we are done, irreversible." Because sometimes life turns a maybe into a yes or no with a simple time limit. "One attempt," Anna repeated to Roger. "Only one." The bike boy appeared, soaked, holding a new spark plug wrapped in a napkin. "My father said to give you this, in case you need it." Roger smiled with his eyes. "Thank you. Swapping that plug would be a detail, but details are luck we help build." He changed it. Nina shut off the live comments again. "Now, silence," she wrote in the chat. The chat obeyed for 10 seconds, which is a long time on the internet. Anna leaned her back against the pillar and closed her eyes for a moment, as if lending him calm. Roger asked Ethan for the key. Ethan gave it without theater. They looked at each other for a second. There was no irony left. There was fear and respect. Maya stepped back to make room for the sound. The pastor held the awning in case the wind returned. The inspector checked his watch. "Now." Roger breathed, pressed his ear to the V8 one last time, gave a micro touch to a connector, corrected 0.5 millimeter of timing, and turned. The motor coughed, bit, almost came, died. The awning seemed to shrink. He leaned back, adjusted again, the same micro-gesture, an invisible tweak. Anna whispered, "It is now." He turned again. Nothing. The silence that followed was not peaceful. It was disappointment holding its mouth not to cry out. The YouTuber outside began to laugh again, even without hearing clearly. Rain found a hole in the awning and dripped onto the back of Roger's hand. He did not move. 1 second stretched into a small eternity. The inspector blew his whistle once to end it for good. It was the official finish. No second chance. No, just one more. The rules stepped in, and there was no appeal. "It is over," he said. "For today, it is over." Ethan dropped the rag. The bank vibrated again in his pocket with the same hard message. Maya lowered her head. The bread lady wiped her eyes without anyone seeing. The bike boy clenched the empty napkin. Anna looked at Roger and saw the same man from the start of the square, wetter, more tired, but still standing. "This does not define you," she said. He took a deep breath, like someone diving without knowing if there's air on the other side. "I know," he answered. But the voice came from far away. The awning felt too small for so many big things happening at once. The rain continued. The video continued. The bank continued. The town continued. What did not continue was the test. It was finished. Irreversible. And that is how we stop here, with the motor silent, the bank's paper burning in the shop owner's pocket, the police guarding the perimeter, the church offering a roof, and 3 people in the middle of it all: a woman with a bracelet asking what Jesus would do, a man with grease on his hands and quiet in his chest, and another man with his name on the sign and dead on his phone, trying to decide what to do when "no" comes before the miracle. The rain did not stop the will, it only changed the path. When the inspector whistled and said, "Over for today," the awning became a harbor. The silent motor hurt everyone, but no one truly left. The pastor opened the church doors. "There's a roof and light here." The town filed inside in a crooked line, shaking umbrellas, offering towels, sharing bread. Sometimes, when "no" shouts loud, the right answer is to gather people. Inside, Nina's camera kept rolling, lower, capturing hands, profiles, quiet tears. Anna asked for 1 minute of silence. Not for drama. To hear what the noise had left behind. And in that silence, you could hear, it was not only a motor that died out there. A little of the habit of laughing first had died too. Maya returned with the empty coil box and a crumpled envelope. "I have things from stock, and this," inside, printouts of chat threads, spreadsheets, and a message exchange that showed what we already knew and pretended not to: unnecessary upsells, jokes about simple clients, a ranking of who looks like a deadbeat. Anna did not celebrate. She held the envelope like someone receiving a frightened child. "This is not ammunition. It is a warning. We will use it to teach, not to humiliate." Nina set up a makeshift screen with a white sheet and an old projector from the children's room. Anna opened the file of town phrases, the good ones and the ugly ones. "Never judge by appearance. It is never too late to start again. He will steal. Miracle vagrant." One by one, the words appeared on the sheet, big, black, without music. People recognized themselves. Some looked down. Others nodded. The YouTuber at the door lost the urge to speak loud. Because when a town hears itself, shouting turns into echo. Roger sat in a pew, still dripping, hands in his lap. The bread lady sat next to him and nudged a warm piece of crumb into his hand, like saying, "Stay, Ethan," with the bank's message heavy in his pocket, stood in the aisle, trapped between guilt and fear. The pastor called the choir. Simple voices, simple song. All are welcome. The notes swept the damp from the air. Then Anna spoke. It was not a speech. It was a conversation that needed to be direct. She told about the square, the bike, the wrench on the ground, the call for respect, the rain that ended the test. She said what would happen next: no witch hunts, no prince tossed into a bonfire. We are going to show work, and we will open a new space, 2 hours a day for solidarity repairs. Wheelchairs, delivery bikes, the cars of people who care for others. Those who can pay, pay. Those who cannot, do not. Those who can donate, donate. Those who can learn, learn. She called it golden hours. Golden hours. The church clapped small, and it grew. Nina stood in the doorway with the camera pointed outward. Anyone who needs a quick, safe repair, bring it here under the awning. No big engines today. Only what safety allows. In 10 minutes they began to arrive. Things a town forgets are also motors. A chair with a wobbly wheel, a loose crutch, a baby stroller with a weak brake, a delivery bike needing to work the night shift. Roger stood, wiped his hands on the donated jeans, and went one by one. Tighten, oil, washer, tape. Each right, click, earned a small round of applause. Small sounds turned into music. The firefighter lent a better flashlight. The police officer managed the line kindly. The inspector, who had whistled, came around and explained in a low voice what could and could not be used there. Safety first. He was not a stone in the way. He was a guide by the riverbank. The town understood. Maya pulled Ethan into the sacristy corner. You need to decide what kind of owner you want to be. The bank has already decided its way. The town is deciding now. He breathed, rubbed his face, looked at a photo of their father from the early days of the shop, before the place became a showroom. I do not know how to fix this, he confessed. Maya answered simply, start by apologizing. Then work. Ethan returned to the hall and asked for the pastor's microphone. His voice came out rough, but it came. Yesterday I treated a man like he was less than human. Today I saw a lot of people reminding me how to do it right. He looked at Roger. I am sorry. He looked at the town. If he agrees, I want him with me. With a contract, with a salary. And I want to start the golden hours here, with the shop doors open. It did not explode into cheers. It swelled slowly, like rain turning to drizzle, then to clear sky. Roger held the microphone like a rare part. He did not make a pretty speech. I just want to work and get clean again. If I have a chance, I will stay. The sentence landed deep where it needed to. Because it was simple and true. Nina turned the camera toward the sheet and projected the good words over the ugly ones, like brushing light paint over a stained wall. Never judge by appearance. It is never too late to start again. Men cry too. Children repeated them together, like a lesson. The bread lady cried without shame. The delivery rider, with his bike ready, gave a thumbs up to the lens and left for his shift. The church became a shop, the shop became a school, the school became a mirror. Then the final villain entered without noise. A man in a wet suit, bank badge in his pocket, appeared at the door with a folder. He looked for Ethan. I need to speak with you. The silence that followed was not respect. It was shock. Ethan walked toward him. The town followed with their eyes. The bank man opened the folder and showed a paper. Grant's line of credit is suspended. Immediate audit. No operating funds, no purchases. If not regularized, closure in 30 days, the world shrank again. Ethan held the paper by its corners like it burned. Maya read over his shoulder. The pastor asked for calm. Nina lowered the camera for a second, then raised it again. This was news, but it was also a life. Anna stood by Roger. "Does this change everything?" he asked. "It changes the route," she said. "It does not change what we decided." The bank man continued, technical, cold. The online reaction affected indicators. "We have protocols." The word, protocol, hit the floor like a heavy tool. The room murmured. The YouTuber outside smelled blood and raised the megaphone. The police took a step. Anna asked for the microphone once more. "Then listen, Riverside. We do not have a motor running, but we have proof." She pointed at the lined-up chairs, the ready bike, the adjusted crutch, the now-safe stroller. The value of a shop is not only the month's invoice. It is the service that holds a town's life together. She looked at the bank man. "You have protocol. We have people." The bank man did not argue. He jotted something down, capped his pen, said he would return with superiors. He left, slicing the air. Outside, the rain began to stop as if tired of getting in the way. The town breathed again, but no one relaxed. Because now the threat had a name and a stamp. It was not a cheap joke or the rain. It was money. Even so, inside, something had already turned. Roger, rag in hand, found himself surrounded by people offering tools, time, resumes, bread, coffee, a therapist's contact, a seat in a recovery group. Ethan, still pale, signed with the pastor's pen a simple promise, handwritten, golden hours, 2 hours a day of solidarity repairs, with transparency and respect. Nina filmed the signature and the poster taped to the church door. Outside, the sky opened a pale strip behind the roofs. Water still ran in threads down to the gutter, as if carrying away a bit of the shame. The awning smelled of soap and clean iron. The town grew quieter. The good kind of quiet. The quiet of understanding. And we stop here, with the church lit, the camera aimed at a sheet with the right words, Roger's hand steady again, Ethan with a hard paper in his pocket and a good paper on the door, Maya watching them both with fear and pride mixed, and an entire bank coming at them like a truck without brakes. The turn had happened. Now came the greater danger. The next day, Riverside woke to 2 notices on the same door, the bank's hard paper suspending Grant's line of credit, and the simple handwritten paper, golden hours, 2 hours a day of solidarity repairs. One said, stop, the other said, continue. The town had to choose which paper to look at longer. Nina published yesterday's video with a clear decision, show hands, parts, and what had already been repaired under the awning. No faces exposed like trophies. No shouting. Only work. The video ran like water down a slanted street. People from the next neighborhood brought wheelchairs asking for adjustments, baby strollers asking for brakes, crutches asking for strength. People in suits arrived with cold questions about warranty, risk, protocol. The church became a shop, the shop became a classroom, and the bank became a problem no one could solve alone. Anna understood the final battle was not with the rain or the megaphone. It was with polite indifference. She gathered everyone in the church hall at dusk, those who applauded, those who doubted, the firefighter, the police, the pastor, the bread lady, Grant's employees, Ethan's sister, Ethan himself, and Roger, sober, in a simple shirt, hands still marked by grease. She asked for 3 things: calm, listening, and truth. The bank man returned, as dry as before, with a thicker folder. He wanted to understand reputational impact and mitigate credit risk, long words that hide the fact that the final decision is always made by someone holding a pen. Anna breathed and called Roger to speak first. He did not make a speech. He said it his way, that he had failed, that he had fallen, that he wanted to stay clean, that he knew how to listen to motors and how to listen to people when there is quiet. He said he was not there asking for charity, he was offering work. He ended with a plain line, beautiful for that very reason: if I have a chance, I will stay. Ethan asked to speak. He did not hide the hard paper in his pocket. He showed it to everyone. He said that yesterday he treated a man badly and today he was paying another price, the price of losing his shop. He did not ask for pity. He asked for criteria. He explained he would keep golden hours with or without a credit line, because it was the truest thing he had ever done. And he signed again, this time on a larger poster, witnessed by the pastor, his sister, Nina, and a delivery rider who had come with a straightened bike the day before. With each signature, the word, commitment, gained ink. The bank man tried to end it with spreadsheets. Anna asked for one more thing: listen to the town. Nina dimmed the lights and turned on the sheet projector. In silence, the phrases she had been saving since the square appeared. Never judge by appearance. It is never too late to start again. Men cry too. He will steal. Miracle vagrant. Thank you. You fixed my chair. Now my mother gets to work. Some lines cut, others stitched. The bank man had no words for 3 minutes, which is an eternity for someone who always has something technical to say. Maya, Ethan's sister, asked to speak. She said she also laughed at first, also doubted, and is also afraid of the bills. But that she learned, in 2 days, the difference between reputation and character. Reputation is what people comment. Character is what remains when the comment passes. What remained yesterday was character, she said, pointing at Roger, at Anna, at the bread lady, at the inspector who lent the awning. And that is what holds a town together. The YouTuber stood at the door, smaller than usual. He asked to speak. He gave a crooked, "I am sorry, but sincere enough," and offered his channel to promote golden hours without cuts or jokes. It was the first time he received applause without a woo. The applause came clean. Roger asked for a minute alone with Ethan and the bank man in the hallway. He did not promise a miracle. He asked for time. He proposed a simple plan: open the bench to transparency, live camera only on hands, clear pricing, a recorded queue, cross donations, and measure the town's response for 30 days. If delinquency rose, he himself would end golden hours. If it fell, the bank would restore the line of credit. The bank man said, "That is not how it is done." Maya cut in, with the firm courtesy of someone unafraid of big rooms. Then teach us how to do it with people. Because with paper we already know. The pastor did what he knew how to do. He placed a simple table in the middle of the hall and wrote, by hand, a good faith agreement. It did not count at the registry office. It counted in town. 30 days of transparency, 30 days of golden hours, a community council to oversee it, bank, church, shop, clients, a representative of delivery riders, and the mother of a child who uses a wheelchair. The bank man breathed like swallowing his own language. He did not sign. But he said, "I will take it. And I will come back." Sometimes that is already a lot. What happened in the 30 days was less cinematic than people expect. It was work. Roger arrived early every day, with coffee and quiet. He taped a paper to the wall with group recovery schedules. He wanted to go. He went. Did he have cravings? He did. He said so. Someone went with him. Ethan stopped pushing unnecessary services. The cash hurt in the first week. In the second, clients who had left returned with cars and their word. The town brought chairs, strollers, crutches, bicycles, small motors of life. Golden hours became a habit. At the end of the month, the community council delivered a one-page report: fewer complaints, more returns, fewer rumors, more receipts. Nina launched a short series, Riverside Restarts, with 3-minute episodes, narrated without drama. Each episode began with the sound of a motor breathing again, and the same line on the screen: respect changes the sound of things. The video traveled further than the joke-filled live. Because honest hope also engages. The bank man returned on the 31st day. He did not bring a thick folder. He brought one page. Credit line reactivated. Under community monitoring, Ethan did not flash a big smile. He only nodded and shook his hand. Those who have fallen know, the good celebration is the one that does not trip you the next day. Maya cried quietly, her way. Small changes followed. Grant's sign gained a small subtitle: Transparency in Service. The church kept a cabinet with basic tools and manuals in simple language for anyone who wanted to learn. The inspector wrote an honest leaflet explaining what can and cannot be done at street events, and when someone asked if an exception would be possible, he answered, "We can do it right." The bread lady stopped crying in secret. She cried when she wished and laughed when she could. The YouTuber swapped the megaphone for a small microphone. The bar of temptations remained on the corner, because life does not vanish. But Roger learned the route that takes the other sidewalk. By the end of that month, they framed Roger's old wrench and hung it on the wall of the shop. Below it, a simple plaque made by Anna, in the careful handwriting she used at the clinic: "Hands of gold, do not judge, help." The town started taking photos there, not as a trophy, as a reminder. And there was a night when Anna went home with her father's photo in her hands. She rested her forehead against the frame and whispered, "Today I helped someone, Dad. And today someone helped me keep going." It was not a soap opera happy ending. It was a possible beginning. She texted Roger, "Tomorrow, early." He replied, "No delays." Then sent another, "No drinking." She sent the bracelet emoji, WWJD. He sent only, "Okay," which, that day, was worth more than a speech. Riverside did not become a perfect town. It kept its hurry, its notification chimes, and people who judge faster than they think. But now it had something it did not have before: a living memory that respect is a daily choice, and that sometimes a steady hand, a careful ear, and the right size wrench are all it takes for life to catch. If you walk down Main Street and hear a rounded motor, it is likely the V8 that once did not start. It purrs like a quiet prayer. If you step into Grant's, you will see a window where you can watch the workbench without invading anyone. You will see a printed sheet with clear prices. You will see, in the corner, a table with coffee and bread. And, if you are lucky, you will see Roger teaching an apprentice to press an ear to the metal before lifting a tool. First, listen. Then, act. Because that is what the town learned. The right sound comes before the right speech. The right gesture comes before the right post. Respect is not perfume, it is practice. And practice changes the landscape. In the final episode of Nina's series, the camera closes on Roger's hands, giving a last turn to a clamp. He wipes the wrench on a rag, looks toward the street, and speaks without looking at the camera. "You can go." The motor answers with a firm purr. The caption appears, simple, without a soundtrack, like a sigh turning into a sentence. Respect is the motor that makes life begin again.